Meeting to order. We do have a quorum. All are in attendance. Commissioner Favors, you want to give us an invocation this morning?
Father, we're tremendously grateful and gracious that you brought us to see this year that is designated as 20 and 26. We pray your blessings upon all who share in this moment to hear. We pray your blessings upon their families. We ask a covering for them and a hedge built around them. Bless the work that is done by this body, that it might glorify you, that it might be mindful of the work that we do will be righteous and pleasing in your sight. We share these things in the name of Jesus, who is the resurrected Christ, our prayer. Amen.
Amen. Now pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move on to our approvals. The first being of today's agenda. Is there a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Holloman, seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 2, minutes. First set from our regular session, December 16th, 2025. Second set from executive session that same night.
I'll make a motion to approve both sets.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Holloman.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor? Any opposed? Next, information announcements. The first being spring sports registration at the Recreation Department. There's a $35 early registration fee, January 5th to January 16th, $50 regular registration from January 17th and March 8th. Anybody interested can reach out to the Thompson McDuffie Recreation Department with questions. Also, just want to mention that the chamber banquet is coming up, and the clerk sent out an email to the board about signing up for that. And also, Mr. Burton, MLK Jr. holiday is January 19th, correct?
Yes, sir.
County offices will be closed
Yes, sir.
that Monday, January 19th. Staff reports, the first being from our county manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've got a few items to update everyone on. First one is Gilpin Stagecoach. That paving is complete, but the work is not. They'll still have to come back and rebuild the shoulders, adjust a few other things. There's a couple of driveway aprons that'll need adjustment. They've got some abrupt drop-offs. We're aware of that. I made the project engineer, they're aware of that as well. So that'll be taking place. The back parking lot at Sweetwater has been paved. They corrected a few items out there and laid out the striping, so haven't had a chance to go out there, but the striping should be underway. There's 2 items out at Sweetwater. The first one, there was a door on the building. Apparently it had been broken for quite some time. We're going to have that fixed. These are minor items, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And also, there's a fence around an electrical panel. There was a grounding issue, an electrical issue, so we're going to erect a minor fence around that so we can use that space up there on top of the hill. So that'll create a level of safety up there. So we'll be able to use that a little bit more. I did direct the road department to do some patching down on Bowden Pond. I believe the city had made another utility cut, and we're just going to go ahead and take care of that one. We did issue a purchase order for a small contract at Eubanks Building to start getting the electrical issues, the code issues addressed down there. Is everyone aware? FEMA did pretty much made their final payment. There's still some smaller funds that are outstanding, and they're working on that as well. Solid waste, and that bid is due Friday on the 9th. Raysville Fire Station interior rebuild is due. We'll open those bids on the 20th. The roofs for Public Works and the elections building will be on the 9th. We did issue the notice to proceed for the Blind Willie Park. They're going to start moving stuff in this week to begin their erosion control measures and just general site prep. I've got a conversation with them later this week, so we'll, if y'all be thinking in your mind about when you want to have a groundbreaking ceremony sometime, I'll get a more definite schedule from the contractor, and I'll share that with y'all, so y'all can be thinking about that. If you'll remember, I think 1st of December, might have been last of November, no, actually it was in November, we worked with NECE, with the CDBG to get architect engineer services for the gym. They did get only one respondent back, and she was checking through their procurement channels to make sure that that was okay for that project and not have to resolicit that. I'm waiting for some more final updates on the Wrightsboro sewer project. The engineer did reach back out to me and Linda. They're finalizing the engineering drawings on that. I had a conversation with Spratland earlier this week about the towers out at Sweetwater. I asked them to make some changes to their contract, and they're going to send that back. So we should have a contract in hand by the end of the week. Knox Rivers Road, that was another water line upgrade. We've got a pre-construction conference set for Friday, so we'll get that project moving along. Working on the Rock House right-of-way negotiations. The attorneys have got the letters. We've got all the addresses, so we'll begin that process here in the next week or so of actually making contact with those landowners. And I've submitted the right-of-way drawings to GDOT, the TIA team as well. Let's see here. We had a gentleman from Ossoff's office stop by yesterday, introduce themselves, and just have a general conversation about if there's any congressional funding that we would be interested in. The city was in there, and I went ahead. If y'all have anything that you can think of, please let me know. I'll be honest, I told him I was looking about $30 million for water and sewer. I think that's probably our biggest need as far as infrastructure outside of transportation. But I did go ahead and make that known, and they're going to get together their congressional funding team to come back and meet with us either on the computer or in person to start that process and just start those talks. Wilkes County, they had lost their solid waste transfer station in a fire, so we've been taking their solid waste and getting it hauled out for them. It's also the city of Washington, and no good deed goes unpunished. As default of that, Tolliver County had also been taking their solid waste to Wilkes, and they're now bringing that here. So there's a lot of activity going on out at the transfer station. So make you aware of that. We're starting the SPLOST 8. We've got our list of stuff that department heads have submitted last year. I'm going back through that, and I did reach out to the city, and they're working on getting their list together as well. Tori had indicated that the speed signs with the flashing speed indicators on various of these roads, we got a batch of bad batteries, and there are other counties that got bad batteries too, so we're waiting on those to be replaced. So they're supposed to be sending us those as well. I had a conversation with Civic Plus on recodification. They're working on a few items on their end, and they'll be sending us some documents, so hopefully we can get that process started in March. That was their timeline on that as well. And I'll speak a little bit more on it a little bit later, but LMIG is due the 1st of February, so I'll be asking for some input on that. And to end on a positive note, if you'll remember last year we applied for 2 interns through ACCG, UGA type deal, and they did award us 2 interns. So we'll have one to work on asset management and policies, and another one to work on records and information management. And that's all I have at this time.
Well, thank you. That sounds like,
I got a question.
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Y'all get a chance, check on the tag grant.
Yes, we're working on that as well. Pam had sent me over that information, and that along with the LMIG, we're assembling the stuff to submit to that. Yes, sir.
What route are they using to come into the transfer station from Wilkes County?
That I don't know. I would assume down 17. When I talked to the chairman up there last week or week before.
Well, hopefully they use the western bypass to,
And they may do it, but I can find out.
because, I mean, that road's built for it. You know, we don't need traffic going on some of the secondary roads. All that heavy weight. As far as haul out, are we getting adequate haul out for that?
We're having to work on that. I've reached out to Waste Management. Tori's reached out to Waste Management. With the holidays, it all happened at a perfect time. It kind of stacked up. I did have a conversation with Tori yesterday about that. I'd reached back out to Waste Management, and he was too. So nothing is dire, not an emergency at this point that I'm aware of, but I'm still staying after them to make sure they keep hauling out.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Burton. A lot of stuff going on. We're gonna move on to number 5, Recreation Department update. Director Welcher.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Happy New Year. Mr. Burton touched on a few items that y'all see in y'all packets, so I won't touch on those, but I'll touch on a few. So for our staff positions, we are filled. They've all been filled for at least about 2 months now, 2.5 months. The parks, with other improvements in the works, I would like to update our park equipment at all parks. I will update the board as I gather additional information. Mr. Burton, myself, and IT department, we are working right now on a few projects that we will present to you all later in the month. I think you all will find this information. It's rather lengthy, but it's needed. We've gathered a lot of information, put in a lot of work, got some drone footage of each park, so we will talk about those a little bit more in depth. We will kind of want to finish that stuff up maybe in the next few weeks with Mr. Burton. We have some other things to kind of look at, but we'll get you all that information. But I think you all will like that presentation once we do present it. And when you see in your packet about the tennis court resurfacing, that's also in that PowerPoint presentation. Talking with a few companies, but we want to get you all some additional information that you all see, so you all have everything that you'll need, so we'll make decisions for the near future. For our athletics, youth basketball season begins tonight, actually. We've got games starting at 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. Our spring sports registration is online. That was talked about earlier. That's baseball, softball, t-ball, and soccer. For Diamond Youth Baseball, we are going Diamond Youth. If anybody wanted to know in the community, we are going Diamond Youth. There are some minor issues that they're working out on their end with other agencies, so I want to kind of get a little bit more information about what's going on. Talking to a few directors. Came from a meeting in Griffin this past week, yesterday and Monday, and so we had some discussions down there. So I'll get you all a little bit more information about that. But before we move forward, I want to kind of get you all everything that you need. But they have a state meeting, Diamond Youth State meeting in Macon on January 17th. I have my athletic coordinators here, Sherrod Hart and Jose Nogueras. Jose will be spearheading our Diamond Youth baseball board, along with 3 other gentlemen. Malcolm Frez, who's a community coach, Marcus Reynolds, who's also on the Recreation Advisory Board, and a community coach in Lee Portwood, who's also on the staff. So, Jose, you want to say anything? Man, a few words. But if you all don't have anything else for me, I do want to encourage the community that if you see something, please say something in regards to vandalism and trash. The staff is on it every day, but I mean, you can go pick up trash right now at 9 o'clock and it's, you leave at 9:05, it's back out there at 9:10, 9:15. So, see something, please say something. But that's all I have. You all have any questions?
I guess I'd just ask us, talking about see something, say something. We've got cameras on the new buildings that were built.
Yes,
And they've caught some activity this year. The
Absolutely.
sheriff's office has handled it. So
absolutely.
anybody who wants to do any kind of vandalism, they will be on camera. Do we need cameras in other areas around the park?
Eventually, I would like to have them at every park. When speaking of the drone footage that we have, you could see a lot for those drones from that drone footage. So having an aerial camera would help in a lot of parks. But I mean, my maintenance staff, they go out maybe 2 or 3 times a day sometimes, if they can, just to kind of, like we're saying, you can pick up trash right now and it'll be right back out there. So we just encourage the community, if they see something, definitely please help out to pick up the trash, but let us know. And I've had a lot of community members call me and say, hey, look, we had super activity over the weekend. No, it wasn't anything on you all's end, but just wanted to let you know that we had a lot of activity. So I'll send my guys over there.
All right. Any questions for Trevor? Not. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you.
Move on to our appointments. Number 6, consideration to reappoint County Clerk Ashton Goodyear. Is there a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Holloman and Commissioner Favors seconded. All in favor? Any opposed?
That's all right.
Consideration to reappoint County Attorney Dave Dunaway.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Holloman made the motion,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Joplin. All in favor? Any opposed? Number 8, consideration to appoint Vice Chair. Is there, Mr. Sam, you've been serving for how many years? 24?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Holloman, seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor? Any opposed? There's no old business this morning, so we'll move right on into new business. The first being an ACO report for December 2025.
I removed $4,902.51 from the property tax digest. This is from appeals being settled and deleting old personal property accounts that were no longer owned by the taxpayers. No changes to the mobile home digest.
All right, thank you. There's the ACO report. Is there a motion for approval? Any questions?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Joplin,
I'll second.
seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. All in favor? Any opposed? Number 10 is consideration of resolution 2026-001 to establish filing fees for elections in 2026. And Mr. Burton has a report on that.
Yes, sir. This is from the elections office, from Phyllis. With there being several elections this year, we'll have to establish the filing fees. There's a resolution for your consideration. I would like to, in speaking with her, make one change. Under section 2, I wrote down there total gross salary. She'd recommended change that to stipend, as it technically wasn't a salary for those BOE members. I do think they set those, but those rates, but they are set at $40. So we're just publicizing what they have set, and that's the only change I have for that.
All right, is there a motion for approval of these fees?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And if you'll make an amendment just to strike that, since it's in print, just to strike the salary and just reword that. So Scrivener error, it probably doesn't need a motion, but just to make clear that changing the language from what was published.
I'll make a motion to approve it to be a stipend instead of a salary.
Second.
Motion was made for approval with that small correction by Commissioner Holloman, seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor? Any opposed? Number 11 is consideration of striker preventative maintenance plan renewal. Chief Sewell.
Good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. This time we're requesting approval to continue with our preventive maintenance program for our striker products. That is our cardiac monitors, AEDs, power cots, power loads, in the amount of $31,859. This is a budgeted item. We have this each year. It saves us a lot of money. They come in annually and do calibration maintenance. Also, it replaces, we don't pay for any parts that's needed during the year if it needs to be replaced.
All right, that maintenance plan is in the packet.
And it's already in the budget and it's
Budgeted.
something we do every year. correct?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Holloman, seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. All in favor? Any opposed? Number 12 is consideration to approve the Baird Audit Group. And I think Mr. Burton has our Finance Director Workman.
Okay. Thank you. This is just a continuation of our relationship with the Baird Audit Group to conduct our annual audit. We have to have this in place, and it's due by June the 30th. When I came here, I had toyed with the idea of going back out to solicitation to change auditors, just for the fact that I'm new, just to get a fresh set of eyes on it. But I believe to close out 25, we recommend just to continue with the Baird Group. And since they have the corporate knowledge of the county, they've done these in the past, they've done well with it, that we'll continue to use them to close out 2025. But I will be bringing to the board sometime this year to resolicit our audit services. Just number one, for competitiveness, and number two, to get a fresh set of eyes on our books and on our budget. So
I'll make a motion to approve, with a comment.
Motion made by Commissioner Joplin. Is there a second? Seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. Comment?
We had solicited those before, am I not correct on that, ma'am?
We've been with Beard for a very long period, but we had solicited, it's probably been 5+ years.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
probably a good idea to,
it's,
just put it back out there. We had done that in the past, but it has been a minute, so
It's been a little while.
let's go ahead and do it again, so that's a good idea.
yeah, I think some of these things, it's good every 5-6 years to revisit and get a fresh set of eyes, or at least the opportunity.
Seems like they came back with a really good bid last time. Of course, it's good to get it back out there, so.
All right, motion was made by Commissioner Joplin, seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. All in favor? Any opposed? Number 13 is consideration of change order number 1, Sweetwater seal coating. Mr. Burton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Doing the rear parking lot at Sweetwater, I was out at the parking lot in front of the gym. Ideally, I'd like to repave that. There's a few structural issues, but to preserve the life of the existing pavement out there, I recommend to seal coat and restripe that parking lot in front of the gym. I think that'll buy us some more years on the life of that pavement. The striping out there is faded, and since we went ahead and invested in a new parking lot there in the back, just to try to make everything look more appealing, I recommend to seal coat that and restripe that parking lot. We do have the funding out of SPLOST Recreation to do that. We can approve this change order since they're already out there doing the striping in the other one, or if you wish, we can go out for separate bids. I think this bid is competitive from just the research that I did. So,
Are we required to reach out, or can we just change that and be?
we can make a change order since the work is similar. It's in the same location.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Holloman, seconded by Commissioner Joplin. All in favor? Any opposed? Number 14, recreation survey. Mr. Burton.
Thank you. This is for information and feedback from the board, something that I'd worked on with Trevor. since getting here, I hear a lot of stuff about recreation, and I always want to try to make positive improvements. So we developed this recreation survey to release to the public. I won't go through and read those questions, but I would like some sort of feedback on that, maybe at the next meeting, or in the meantime, to see if there's anything that we missed, that we need to add, delete, things of that nature, just to get your overall feedback on that before we release that to the public. I think this will be beneficial. It'll help guide us, make strategic decisions in regards to parks and recreation.
Will this survey be completed before our final SPOS discussion?
It possibly could be. I would envision at least a month to 45-day open period to collect enough comments. And obviously, it would take several weeks to put those comments in a presentation package.
I just think it'd be wise to have this data before we decide on how much money
On
goes in,
final,
or what money goes
we could work towards that, yes,
for
sir.
recreation.
How would the survey be sent out?
We will create a QR code. We'll put it on our website. That way somebody can link to it, or you can, scan the QR code. We'll put that on the website, on Facebook. That way it'll all be electronic. And we can hang up flyers too, and people can scan it and access it.
All right, well, this doesn't really need a vote. I think this is a good idea, and it'd be good to get the public's input, so.
Do we do recommendations now or just whenever?
You can do them now, or you can send them to me. Yeah, I'm just looking, between now and next meeting, some feedback before we finalize the.
I just got one recommendation, and I'll go ahead and tell you so I don't forget. Under the rating part of the survey, I'd like to add rate communication of rec staff.
Any more comments or discussion on the survey? If not, we'll move on.
Where's that?
On the survey questions in your packet, it's about next to the last page. It's got the rating section. I think the very first one is number 13. It says, please rate your overall satisfaction with the cleaning, the maintenance of our parks, and then it goes to rate professionalism and so forth on down.
It just has, professionalism, so you're just saying add communication.
Yeah, just add another number to it.
Yeah, we can insert that question.
All right. Number 15 is Town of Deering annexation, and I think, Mr. Burton, you got a staff report on that as well.
This is, again, for information only. We were given a letter by the Town of Deering for their intentions to annex a couple of parcels into their corporate limits. The county does, or any jurisdiction that it resides in has a 45-day comment period if there's any objections. So this doesn't require a vote from the board unless there's anything, any objection to it. But this, again, for information, and just ask for your feedback or direction on that.
Could I make a motion to table it for further discussion?
Well,
Or does it even need to be tabled?
it doesn't need to be tabled.
Okay.
Since it's open. If there's comments, or if the board wishes to send them a letter, we'll just need direction on that.
Okay. So no vote on or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
All right. There's no further discussion. Sir?
That annexation, Tuesday meeting is the 17th, the third Tuesday meeting, that since we didn't have a work session this past, I think maybe we have a work session a little bit prior to that Tuesday meeting, so we can get some feedback and share the board on especially that annexation portion of things.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We can definitely schedule that.
That's about 31 acres.
17 and then a 5-acre tract, I believe, so.
It says 17 and 14, tract A and B.
Yeah, there's two, there's two tracks, track A and B, a 17 acre and a 5 acre.
It's on page 2
It's-
of the letter to us.
That,
And it describes it, it references those plats. I think there is a tract on the plat showing 14 acres, but it's the 17 and the 5 acres.
and this is, more or less directly across from the school.
The 17-acre tract is.
Correct, yes,
The
sir.
5-acre tract is which one?
Tract B, 5 acres,
On the second exhibit.
yes.
Yes, it's the,
It was split out of that other one, I guess.
little
It butts up
rhombus
to
looking thing,
tract A and
trapezoid.
Is that bordering on the city limits?
It
Yes,
is.
it runs into it.
Okay.
In fact, I guess that's the
Yeah,
school's right across
they're
from the track.
contiguous.
Yeah, so the school is already in the town limits
Correct.
across the street, but what they're trying to annex is not yet.
My only comment to Burton had been that we make sure they annex that entire strip of road too, that they take responsibility of everything in between the school and the new properties.
Well, we take care of the roads
Yeah, well, that's
anyways.
Boot Point right there.
Yeah, with their SPOS fund, with their T-SPOS fund.
Gotcha.
And that could be
Yes,
a
you're
request
right. I
that
mean,
we
we
can
do.
make, that they can annex that right away in there. That would have to be a separate action, but to incorporate that.
All right, is there any further discussion? If not, we'll move on to 16, Harrison Drive Traffic Engineering Report from Mr. Burton.
A couple of months ago, we were presented during public comment and presented a petition to address some speed concerns on Harrison Drive. I did run this through our consultant engineer. They came back with a recommendation to mitigate some of that. They did put up traffic counters and to do a traffic count and a speed study out there, and they did come back to put in a couple of speed humps. They're not speed bumps, they're speed humps. Speed
Tables.
they're not as wide as tables, but they're a little bit narrower. I generally like to stay away from speed bumps because of emergency services and driver expectation. They'll cross over a speed bump and then speed up to the next one, and then flump flump, and it does inadvertently cause a noise issue. But the speed humps and speed tables are a little bit quieter in areas. And I bring this up, and I'll touch on it in the presentation towards the end. As I'm aware, I don't know that the county, we have a formal process for these types of things, but I did want to bring this before y'all today to get your guidance if you want me to continue with getting quotes and initiating this based on the engineering study. There is a speed issue out there. The county clerk did certify the petition that it was accurate. According to the traffic count, the speed studies, they do exceed the 85th percentile of the speed, and that's an engineering qualification for determining whether traffic calming devices are needed. And I think in this instance, it's probably warranted.
I read the report, it's very much warranted, looks like me. We're not gonna do those like Ellington Avenue are you? Because, are those speed tables or those speed humps?
I think those are speed tables.
Yeah, those things are horrible.
Yeah, I rode over those yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna lose my car.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of my point is, you know,
Those Ellington,
you
but that's
lose-
city did that though, didn't they?
You have them on your road too, don't you?
But not that, we don't have,
In the
we
city.
we have the humps up, we don't have. I
The
don't
tables,
think-
okay. You talking
That,
about,
what I rode over yesterday, that was unbelievable.
that's on Ellington Avenue?
On Ellington, on the, yeah, on that side.
It was doing its job.
Yeah, well, you ain't got to worry, they won't hit it but one time after that.
Yeah, right.
But I don't have any problem going forward with this for the safety, because these young people, they like to test out their cars and stuff. I don't have any problem going forward with doing this for. Yeah, but now whatever they got, I'm with Bill. Whatever they got on that, but that.
All right.
So,
Yeah, I guess,
yeah, if I
from
can just
what
get a
I'm
motion
hearing-
to approve this.
You want-
So move that.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Favors, seconded by Commissioner Joplin. All in favor? Any opposed?
Can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
In that regard, Stevens here, does that make a difference with your vehicles, humps and tables?
No, so they should be using caution all the time, so, and they travel the roads enough to know which areas to look out for, and I don't see it, causing any major issues with our response time. But some-
Well, I'm just thinking, the choice of one of the versus the other, doesn't make any difference.
Slow response time down, or
It wouldn't be enough to understand, because in a lot of areas they're gonna be, you can't be flying down those streets anyway, even if it is an emergency, because it's negligence.
Right.
You never know who's gonna run out, so they've got to use extreme caution all the time.
All right. We'll move to number 17, Transportation Improvement Plan. Mr. Burton.
Robert, can you get the screens up? This is something that we've been working on. This is a draft. There'll obviously be some edits, but one of the things I noticed upon arriving here was some transportation issues, and so I developed a transportation improvement plan. It's been a few years since I've done done something like this. So thought I'd take another stab at it. I think it's something that would be helpful. Just in brief, the overview of the transportation system in the county. There's a little over 460 miles of roads in McDuffie County. I pulled that number from GDOT. There's 104 national bridge inventory bridges in the county. And of those road miles, 362 are maintained by McDuffie County, 259 are paved, and 103 are unpaved, either native surface or aggregate surface roads. And there's 22 structures maintained by the county. These roads consist of local collectors and arterials. They provide access to residential areas, commercial, recreation, and industrial areas. And of those 22 structures, those are classified as major culverts and bridges. Here's just out of our GIS layer of the transportation network that the county maintains. The reds are unpaved and the blue are paved. Short answer, what is the transportation improvement plan? It provides us a framework for managing the county's transportation infrastructure. It lays out goals and objectives that we can use to meet that. Some of the things we looked at is to balance function and safety. Any work that we do meets agency and industry standards, establishes a budget for that, and tries our best to maximize our dollars. As you know, it costs probably $500,000 or more to do a full depth reclamation. So any type of road work is pretty expensive now. This plan is flexible to adjust to the community's needs, and it establishes a way to prioritize how we rank these projects. In short, this plan creates a pavement management program. There's an avenue to survey these roads, to take a pavement or a surface condition score, whether it's aggregate or a paved surface, and we can assign a numerical score to those roads, and that'll help ranking and prioritizing which roads receive treatment. Provides guidance on traffic calming measures, that issue that you just voted on. Provides guidance on geometric criteria for roadway improvements, and these are for non-subdivisions. So our general transportation system develops programs, utilize funding from multiple sources, and again provides guidance on ranking received requests. 5 goals and objectives were identified: pavement management, road surface improvements, traffic engineering and safety, infrastructure and planning, and a performance measurement. There are certain elements that were created, categories, elements, programs, whatever you want to call it. Traffic engineering studies program provides data collection and analysis to support the decisions on how you rank projects. Safety improvement programs, this is just to enhance the safety through signage, striping, or other measures, and speed management. Transportation improvements and upgrades, this will actually do major upgrades to existing infrastructure and add life to our existing infrastructure. Maintenance minimization is a big part of that. It's pavement preservation to extend the life of the pavement and extend the life of other unpaved roads. And a rights-of-way and easement programs. This facilitate acquisition or negotiation of right-of-way or easements for projects or smaller projects. If we had to replace a bridge and didn't have enough width, we would utilize this program. Under the traffic engineering and studies program, I'm proposing to purchase a couple of traffic counters, and we can deploy them at various parts in the county, and this supports data-driven. We can actually do speed studies with this. We can do traffic counts with it. Broke the county up into thirds, trying to do 120 miles each year over a 3-year period, and we'll have actual measurable data, and this will help us preparing for ranking those roads that receive improvements and for grant applications. Under the safety improvement programs, plan to restripe at least 5 miles of road, replace various and sundry signs and markers around the county, adopt a traffic calming and speed management policy, and begin evaluating railroad grade crossings for safety. There is a couple of grants out there. There are a couple of grants out there that will allow us to go after funding to improve safety at railroad crossings. The maintenance minimization program, again, applies preventative treatment to extend preserved pavement life. Crack sealing, chip sealing, and aggregate resurfacing are part of this, and proposing 10 miles each of those. Also, there's a drainage improvement component. A lot of the smaller cross drains on some of these roads are either rusted out, they're rotted, they're old, they're damaged, they need replacing. Proposing 500 linear feet of that, and that's not a lot. You're going to use probably 60-foot stick of pipe for each of these, so that will go quick, but it's a start. And deep patching, this will cut out bad portions of pavement on roads that may not need the entire segment resurfaced, but we're proposing 1,000 tons of that. And the aim for this is to reduce the overall maintenance costs on the identified roads. Transportation upgrades and improvements identifies 2 major culvert and 2 roadway design projects. One of those culverts is on Harrison Drive, the other is on Surrey Road. Those are the 2 that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's others. As we start digging into this more, we will find more. And the roadway design projects are the Frontage Road and Samuels Road. And those 2 were identified in the TIA projects through T-Splost. Introducing maybe a new concept here. I think some of it's done in the past, but triple surface treatment in lieu of asphalt paving. There's a lot of roads, I think, for our dollars, we can extend this out and get more miles with it by using triple surface treatment to start hardening some of these lower volume native surface roads. And then proposing another 10 miles of actual asphalt, some milling and resurfacing. The Rock House Road realignment is a TIA project that's funded as well. And the right-of-way and easement program, again, we'll set aside a little bit of funding to, if we need it for right-of-way acquisition. The Rock House Road and Schoolhouse Drive is part of this project. The estimated budget for all of these elements is $6.1 million. This focuses on resurfacing and infrastructure preservation. Projects may be adjusted based on what's found out in engineering, the bids, and actual funding available. Funding sources for this, and it's in the 26 annual budget, was $4 million in the local share from T-Splost, 2.4, and that number might change because there was some additional funding for, and the 2.4 million for Samuels Road. That's a TIA project, and Frontage Road as well is a TIA project. Our LMIG is, when we did the budget, we put 600,000, but the actual allocation is 631,000. There's some money that I intend to use out of SPLOST 6 for the aggregate surfacing. So we roughly have about 7.1 million to execute this. And that's not counting other state and federal transportation grants that are out there. One of them I look at is a local bridge program. Those are, GDOT will fund those shovel-ready projects to replace bridges and large culverts. The next steps, following slide, there's a road list. I'm ask you to review that in the next board meeting. We can approve a list of roads so I can submit those to LMIG, and those are due February the 1st. And then further, if y'all will review the full document and comment on that, I'll take any comments. This next slide is a list of roads that I've compiled from other files that we've received petitions for paving requests or other maintenance on here. For the roads that I've had petitions, we've went through and put those dates on there. So I wanted to put this in front of you. These are the ones that I'm aware of that have maintenance, or I won't say maintenance, that actually have paving requests on. Some of these roads were in previous conversations, I believe, for paving, but just to update everything, I wanted to put this out there so y'all can look at it and get your feedback on that. And just for the conversation piece, when you're thinking about this, some of those costs and those elements, those are best case scenarios. This is a section out at Carolyn Lake. I know this road has been discussed. There was some previous work done on it, but I put this slide up here. There would be some earthwork on these, so keep in mind that some of these roads will be more costly than the other because there's utilities out here. There's underground utilities, there's overhead utilities. There's probably some right-of-way issues out there. We may have to acquire some additional right-of-way, especially in the curve section back there. Currently, it doesn't meet our design criteria, so we would have to do some minor realignment in sections. I just wanted to show y'all how it would look. Another road on the list is Springdale. This is another one that has some unique geometry out there, and it would require some realignment to make it meet standard. This scenario here still isn't the best, but we could probably make it fit with a smaller radius curve. So that's kind of how it would look like. The aerial photo didn't quite show up to show some of the changes on the presentation, but in selecting these roads, I'm just saying all this to say that what we have budgeted in here, we may have to adjust and take away from some other programs due to the fact that there's some increased right-of-way, there's some utility considerations and some earthwork considerations. This is Radford Culberth. I think this one would be an ideal candidate. I know I've had some requests on it as well, and this would probably be one that would be minimal required work, grading, shaping, and drainage, and this would be a candidate for the triple surface treatment. And in the actual document, it does lay out the criteria for receiving requests, how we would rank those, sort of the flow of how that would go. Someone would bring us in a request with a petition. I believe 60% of the folks sign the petition. It would be certified by the clerk, and we would take it for engineering analysis for comment, and then bring it back to the board for action. Those are in the appendix of the actual document. It outlines a ranking system so we can assign a numerical score for some of those roads that we have requests on, and as we do the entire surface condition score of the roads in the county. And some of those factors obviously is a visual assessment on the pavement or the surface condition, and then we're able to take and factor in, is it a collector, is it an arterial, the number of address points on that road, so that would increase the score that roadway would receive. And the final appendix is functional classifications of road and the design standards that we would use to implement this plan. And these are taken from GDOT, from AASHTO, from industry standards. I know that's a lot, but there's a lot to read there, a lot to take in. I ask for your comments and your feedback on that, any questions that you have. But we do need to determine a list of roads, and I can have that I showed you the list, but I can preliminary rank those for submission to LMIG and for y'all to review. But I wanted to give y'all opportunity to look at that list and see if y'all had any guidance on that. And that's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you. That's a nice plan that you put together. You've been real busy, so very proactive. With that being said, the board, I guess, will come to you individually on suggestions for LMIG, and is there a motion to move into executive session regarding personnel?
I move.
Motion made by Commissioner Holloman, seconded by Commissioner Joplin. Are we expecting action today? I don't think
No,
so.
sir.
Not expecting action, but the doors will be open. We'll go back into regular session after executive, so if you wanna wait, you can hang around outside and then come back in.